Hi everyone. I'm going to interview my son Junior today. We're going to talk about the coronavirus and his thoughts about it. Let's do this. I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of questions here, okay? And you just answer freely. Okay, first question. What did you like better? Doing school from home or going to school?
Well, when I would do school at home, it would feel nice to like sleep in a couple more hours, you know.
Yeah.
But
Because you don't have to get up early and get
Yeah.
ready and then have to.
yeah, you could seriously just turn on the computer and be like, "Oh, I'm here." Then.
Yeah.
but
Right.
but going to school, you're sort of like looking forward to meeting people that you see every day.
The interaction.
Yeah.
Right.
And just the daily stuff that you usually go through. But online, I feel like you could go through the lesson, but it's not really the same because if you were in person, it would be easier to not only pay attention.
Okay.
Because if you were to do it at home, there's nothing stopping you from turning off your camera.
Okay. Do you feel like you learned anything in online school?
I feel like I hear many people say that, "Oh, I'm not learning anything." I believe that most people, if they were to actually pay attention, act as if it was a normal class, then you would be able to learn the subject.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like most people don't learn or don't understand because they're not paying attention.
Okay, sure. Because in reality, it is the same thing because whether you're at your desk in school or whether you're on your computer, you're still getting the same interaction. If you have a question to ask the teacher, you can always make it aware that you have a question.
Yeah, that could be one of the things. Like in person, the mindset is like, I'm here, I might as well try.
Right.
Compared to being, I'm home, I'm gonna just lay in bed.
Right, exactly. My next question is, what do you miss about going to school?
Of course, meeting up with friends, seeing how they're doing. That's usually what most people look forward to in school. Of course, we go to school to learn subjects, But I feel like what makes most people's days is when they show up and they could just catch up with their friends.
Exactly. Okay, so the next one is, what do you like about being online school? And I think we kind of covered that as far as you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Not having to get up extra early.
Yeah, I would say like the only thing that I would like. I believe if you were like a more introverted person, then I guess online school might be better for you. That way you don't need to be face to face with people.
Right.
You don't need to actually talk to them.
Right. Exactly.
But if you're not that type of, if you're extroverted, then it might not be as good.
Yeah. The next question I have here, and I think you answered it as well, but it's, did you miss interacting with fellow classmates from school?
Oh yeah. Like I believe the beginning of March, I believe, is when the lockdown happened. We all thought like, oh, we're gonna have a week off, but then that week turned into like a year.
Right,
So
exactly. That's a unique experience. To some people, it's not a big deal because some people are homeschooled with their parents as teachers, but this is a little different because you weren't homeschooled. You were taught by your regular teacher, but just online. So you're being instructed by a professional teacher that knows what they're doing. And also, they're going through a struggle as well because they're having to learn how to use technology with the computer, and I could only imagine that for a lot of teachers.
I feel like
it was hard.
It would have been way easier if they stick with. We had this app on our Chromebooks called Google Classroom. I feel like if they just stayed on that instead of going to using Zoom and what else did they use? I think they still use Google Classroom. I'm not sure, but Google Classroom was so easy. The layout was easy. Had a homework section, But I guess they had to learn a whole other thing to put their assignments on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because you're using a computer and then you have your screen and then you're bringing up another screen and then it's multiple
I guess for them,
layers.
they're not used to it.
Yeah, because I know that for me, I still have a hard time with computers, even though my generation, Gen X, we're kind of the ones that were introduced to computers as teenagers, I guess. I remember in junior high we had the Apple used them at school a little bit, only for like typing lessons. But when we'd go home, like I didn't have a computer. I mean, I had a Atari 2600 or a Nintendo 64.
Then at school you would have one like Macintosh with like a big box in the back.
Right, exactly. So I at least, I don't want to say like my generation, but at least for me, I didn't have much computer growing up. I didn't have much computer knowledge, and so still for me, whenever I have to do anything computer related, if it doesn't deal with emails or basic apps or programs, I'm lost. So the next question is, what was your worst experience about the COVID period concerning your high school time?
Personally, nothing that happened I really cared about.
Okay.
I mean, mostly like some school events like prom or like mostly prom. Some students had like a whole heartbreak about that. Like,
because you were a senior when the COVID started, so you were one of the COVID seniors, as I call people.
I mean, it would have been fun to go. I mean, the previous years, I think they had like prom at like gyms, like school gyms. But like this year, it was going to be like on a boat, I believe.
Okay.
So that would have been fun actually.
Yeah.
But like nothing really. I don't think I've really had a bad experience so far.
Okay, good. All right.
As much as other people,
Sure. Yeah, more the extroverted and
or
outgoing people. Not outgoing, but like just the extroverted type of people who can't stay at home by themselves.
I guess so.
Okay, so what did you like about the situation concerning the time at home during the COVID period?
I wouldn't say I liked it per se. It was just like a new experience. Because like sure, staying at home and doing school at home would be fun. But like after the first 2 months, it would get a little repetitive, boring. So I would say like not being able to go out, because during the lockdown we stayed home for like the whole time. So that part sucked because we were like trapped here.
Yeah.
So we couldn't really go out because it was pretty bad.
Yeah, you and your brother, you both experienced being in online school.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say that'd be my part.
Okay, cool. Do you feel like you were learning anything from school while being online school?
I say I could speak for like over half of the seniors this year.
Do it.
I'm pretty sure no one learned. Like when I was seeing my graduation, like all my classmates were like, "Oh man, that you graduated? There's no way." So pretty sure most of the students, they didn't. I forgot what the term was. They didn't learn the subject. They learned how to pass.
Oh, okay.
If that's how it goes, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way of stating it. Yeah.
So.
Okay. So, I guess this question here, and it kind of, when I asked your brother AJ, he kind of didn't understand part of the question, but I'll ask it, and if you don't understand the term, then I'll explain it to you. But the question is, what's your biggest takeaway from this whole experience of COVID-19?
I'd say it led to, my biggest takeaway is that we took advantage of like how we were before COVID. Like I'm pretty sure before COVID, you would go up to like say you use public transportation, you would be probably in a crowded area, and you wouldn't even think twice about like someone coughing near you. But now it's like, oh my god, he's coughing, or something, or
Very true.
But also you could say that it just showed us how much we took advantage of just being able to interact with other people without like taking precautions or just being in the second gym.
Very good. What other activities have you been doing during this time of the coronavirus? Before the coronavirus, you were doing karate.
So yeah, I mean, when before COVID, when I was still in school, I would do martial arts with you, DJ. But I guess during the lockdown, since I was learning online, I guess there's nothing you really could have done because most hobbies, unless you like to build stuff or make small items, most of the stuff we did was with other people. Okay. Like how we would go archery together.
Yeah.
At Moscow Park. We probably could have done that.
True. Very true. And before the coronavirus, we were going to the gym albeit not a lot, but we were still going, maybe once a
yeah.
week. But we were going, once or twice a week, for a while, and because of the COVID-19, they had to close it all down. So that kind of
So like I'm pretty sure lots of hobbies that people could have done would have had to been things you would have to do by yourself, or at least like online.
One of the answers that your brother gave was because I had asked him the same question, and before the coronavirus, he was skateboarding, and he was like really into it and like doing a lot of stuff. But literally a month or two before the coronavirus, he started picking up music instruments. And so I asked him, well, how come during this whole lockdown, you can still go outside and go in our driveway or go out, outside in the street and skateboard? And his response was that he didn't want to break his hand or his arm and not be able to do music, which I completely understand. Because, being a musician, I understand, but also we're also martial artists. We also do karate, and I've broken fingers without thinking, oh shoot, I'm not going to be able to play the piano or play guitar or the bass. But you just kind of do things without knowing.
Oh yeah, true. And then again, I guess for playing instruments, it's easier to do at home than just like skateboarding in your driveway. Skateboarding, you're probably having more fun going around, or just going to a park, which then again you probably couldn't do.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're almost done here. One of the few remaining questions is, how do you feel about working in a hospital during the COVID-19 period? So, you actually got 2 jobs right after graduating high school. You got 2 separate security jobs, and one of them was at an apartment complex in a rich area of Orange County.
That place wasn't known to work at. The people
And then the other security guard job was at a hospital of all places, where coronavirus is like at the heart of the
that place was busy.
It was busy. But how do you feel like, because I actually had gotten the coronavirus weeks or a month before you even started, and I was at home for a month. I was bedridden for a whole month, and then you got the job. So I guess like my question is, were you nervous about working at a hospital because of getting the coronavirus?
Personally, the only reason I cared was because if I came home and I had it, it would go to AJ or my mom. Personally, if I got sick, I wouldn't care about myself, but I would care if I gave it to the others. Therefore, I took precautions.
Yeah, that's kind of like my thing, Before I had gotten the coronavirus and people were coming in with it and they were coughing on me, and I'm like, ooh.
It was sort of, while being over there, it's weird how little information people have of how to deal with it. If you're positive, why go unless you're feeling bad? Like if you're fine and say you got email saying, oh, you tested positive, why would you show up to a place where there's other people that don't have it and say, oh, I got COVID? Now you're just exposing more people.
Or even going to the hospital and asking to be tested. Well, if you go to a hospital and ask to be tested, you're going to the place that has COVID. Why would you want to go somewhere that there's the majority of people that have COVID-19 to ask to be tested? Like, you're just setting yourself up to get it.
They're going to put you in a room with other COVID people. Oh, wait here.
Yeah.
We'll be with you in 20 minutes.
Yeah. But other than dealing with the COVID-19 people, you as a security guard, you have to deal with all the riffraffs, the drunks.
I mean, it's fun dealing with those. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure if you were just to meet them on the street, I'd be scared.
Sure.
But I feel like since you're with your coworkers, it's not as scary, but it's still more. I just see it as experience because working there is it gives you more.
I'd say it would give, to me, I would think it gives you more confidence.
Yeah, confidence, that's what it was.
In having to go up to those type of people if you're out in the street on your own. If we're out at a restaurant or, waiting in line for something and a homeless person comes comes up to you, you know how to deal with the situation.
Yeah.
Because
Even if they weren't homeless, it would be like how they would act to you.
yeah.
Because like it's usually the people you don't expect. Like there's some patients that would get discharged, and homeless or not, if they're nice, they're no problem. But usually, like if they demand stuff, or like I want this, I want that. The thing about homeless people, no matter if they're nice or not, they usually have something on them to protect themselves because they're living on the street.
Yeah.
So they have to worry about other people. So that's just one thing we keep in mind. But
and you and I both know that obviously not all homeless people are stereotypical. A lot of them are just down
trying to get by.
They're just trying to get by, and they're trying to pick up their feet and get by, and we understand that. And you know that we're willing to do whatever we can to help those people, but the ones that
come on 3 different types of drugs, then those are the ones that really don't give any respect from anyone.
They're cursing and trying to punch people and all that. So, it's sad that the small few of those people have to ruin it. Second to last question. You missed having a traditional high school graduation and instead had it online through Zoom.
Oh.
What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, that was pretty dumb. I'm pretty sure they tried to think of something. Like, man, that was such a bad. That was so embarrassing. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Because what was it? They made us take a headshot, a photo. I didn't care. It's a photo, wearing the gown. But like, they're like, all right, guys, record a 5-second video of you throwing up your hats and then catching it. Yeah, and catching it. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and then when we actually went to your school to pick up your
the diploma, they made it was like a drive-through.
Yeah, it was.
Here's your diploma, guys.
Yeah, it was just you stick your hand out the window and they gave it to you. There was no ceremony or anything. It could have been you with one other person, both with your masks on, and them just handing it, not even touching you, but giving you your diploma and you're just grabbing it. It's like a ceremonial type of thing, but that wasn't even the case. It was like, I'm here to get hamburger, fries, and a drink. Oh, by the way, can I get my diploma?
Exactly, can I get my diploma? Yeah, because I think that usually at the ceremony you would get the certification, like the binder that holds the diploma, but your diploma wouldn't be in there because the next day you would go back to school and in the morning you would get it.
Right, exactly.
But because of this whole situation, they gave it to you.
And not only that, but imagine all the people who scraped by and saved to buy the cap and gown and
they're not even getting
all that other stuff. And like for us, we bought like a whole package that was kind of expensive and it included like cards. To send out
to invite people, but to the drive-through in the same van.
Exactly. So that was
such a waste.
Yeah, it was very frustrating because that was a lot of money spent on stuff that was kind of useless, but it was all items that we bought before the situation happened.
So.
And of course we understand you just kind of have to roll with the punches, but and like your brother, he joined the baseball team a month before the coronavirus, and so he had never played baseball in his life, and then him and his friends try out, and he was the only one that made it, and a month later, and so your mom and me, we spent like a couple $100 buying his shoes, his this, his that, and like a month later it was closed down, and so even if he goes back to school, we're gonna have to rebuy all this stuff because he literally grew like 5 inches.
Dude.
He's taller than me now. He's like 5'10" right now. So there's a little minor things that happen. It's kind of you just have to laugh about it. You can't like be man this and that, but it's kind of funny. So the last question: is there anything that you would like to add to what we were talking about concerning the coronavirus or school? I know that this is one thing that I want to bring up. Me being the karate instructor is last June you were supposed to go for your grading for a black belt. And before the coronavirus started, you were training, you were going to practice 4 times a week, learning katas, getting your endurance up because you had to fight a lot of people at this grading. And then, poof, all of a sudden the coronavirus happens, and like right now, you're supposed to be a black belt, you know, in everyone's eyes. And it's so frustrating that you're not because of what happened. And it's like, okay, like now we're slowly starting to get back into it. Our karate instructor is gonna start having Zoom practices again.
Oh boy.
And it's like, you know, how are we gonna do that? Because yeah, it's a big mess. But yeah, that's what I would like to bring up, you know. But anything like you would like to add?
No, I think you're pretty good with it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching and listening to us talk about Junior's experience with the coronavirus. Thank you very much.